महावीर साक्षात श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवी की जय।
साड़ी इसी तरह तरह बड़ा लग रहा है। You got this. I think they should bring all these together. It's better.
Are they closer?
Yes, closer.
Where would you like me to
It's
sit?
good.
Just find a space. And these?
It's alright. I don't think I need it. My spectacles I gave. Sorry. Come close.
Come forward. ऐसे पानी वगैरह है।
थोड़ा जवळ झाला अरे याचं ते कनेक्शन झालं का टेपचं कनेक्शन Today we are going to celebrate the birthday of Mahavira. Mahavira is the incarnation of Bhairavnath, or you call him at Saint Michael. Now these two saints, as you know, one is the Gabriel Hanumana and another is Saint Michael. One is placed on the Pingala Nadi and another one, Saint Michael, on the Ida Nadi. So, Mahavira had to go through lots of search. Of course, he was a angel, but came as human being. And he had to find out the thing of the left side and how the left side acts. It's a very complicated thing, left side. Is much more complicated than right side. On the left side, we have also 7 nadis. And these 7 nadis are placed one after another. They are described in books and given different names to them. Now these 7 nadis that are on the left side, as you know, they cater to our past. See, for example, every moment becomes a past. Every present becomes a past. Then we have past of this lifetime. And also we have past of our previous lives. Then all the past is built in within us since our creation. So all these psychosomatic diseases, as you know, are only triggered by the entities that appear from the left side. For a person, supposing he is suffering, say, from liver trouble, and suddenly he is attacked from the left side, especially Muladhara, or any left side, left navi. Because Muladhara is the only one that is connected with the left side, Ida Nadi, and the right side, Pingala Nadi, is connected to Swadhisthana. So the problems of Muladhara are really beyond the reach of human beings. And when it is attacked, any one of these chakras on the left hand side, then psychosomatic diseases occur into human beings. As I have told you many times, now this is the center, this is another center, left and right. They are on top of each other. Using the right side too much goes up to a point and suddenly something happens on the left, triggers. So all diseases, say even diabetes, is due to the psychosomatic effect. A person who is very hard-working, thinks too much, very right-sided, suddenly something happens, maybe also he might inherit that diabetes because of the past, and it triggers, and you get this psychosomatic problem. Now this psychosomatic problem is only cured if you know what's the problem of the left side. So Mahavira went quite deep onto the left side. Why I said it's difficult, the left side, is because when you start moving on the left side, the movement becomes linear, of course, but it moves downward. While the movement on the right side moves upward. So the movement goes down like that, and then it coils up, forms coils, and you go on moving with it, so you are lost in the coil. But the other one moves upward and the coils are not so many, and because it is upward, it is easy to get out of it. So those people who go to the left, by any chance, by thinking too much about their past, crying about themselves and always complaining, are more difficult than the people on the right side. But the right side people are troublesome to others, while the left side people are troublesome to themselves. That's how this left side was to be found out properly, was done by Mahavira. Of course, he knew also, I think, all about. So he has mentioned practically in details lots of things that can happen to a person who goes to the left side. He gave the idea of hell. He also described 7 types of hell. I mean, it's so horrible that I don't want to tell you what is hell is. Horrifyingly cruel, horrifyingly joyless, and horrifyingly so repulsive that you hate yourself when you understand you have committed this mistake, you have committed this paap, this sin, and then what is the result? What you get, the punishment part. Mahavira worked it out, everything. He has given in all details what sort of punishment is due to a human being who tries to be left-sided. Also he has given about the person who is right-sided, but not to that extent, because he had to deal with the combination, but mostly with the left side. As I have told many people before, and here also I perhaps maybe, that there is a soul that is made out of the causal bodies of all the five elements. The causal, say for example, of the earth is fragrance. So this soul, which is made of the five causal bodies and your centers, plus we can say also it has got the control over the parasympathetic. It sits on the spinal cord from outside and activates the parasympathetic nervous system. So it has a connection with every center. Now this is the soul when we die, with the Kundalini and our spirit goes into the sky. And it is the soul that guides now the movement of our being, whatever is left now, into a new being, and that's how it works out. So everything that we have done so far is recorded in that soul. When you were asking me whether we see some sort of round things, you see, lying together, what is that? I told you this is the dead soul. And now they have found out what I have told them. Because, see, when a person dies, his soul shows you, like even now you can see, round things. There could be many, there could be one, a string. And they saw it under microscope when I told them that the soul within us is reflected on the cell, which is the reflector of every cell. So the part of the cell which is the reflector, which is placed on one side of the cell, also has this soul reflected, and the main soul, which is on the back, controls that reflected soul which looks after every cell. Now they have found out that there is in that reflector this kind of 7 loops. 7 loops because it sits on the 7 chakras and the Muladhara. Now what he found out that when people die, then some of the souls are born again just after a few days. And these people are just very ordinary type of people. That's how we brought in a kind of category. So there are the people who have died, they are of a category, one category, where they exist for a very short time in the collective subconscious, and then they take their rebirth. They are very ordinary people, aimless, useless people. But there are some souls, when they die, they just hang in the air, and they are just waiting to find out somebody who will fulfill their desires, which are not yet fulfilled. Like there's a drunkard, and a drunkard can join another human being who is living, who would like to drink. So once he starts getting this So once it starts, getting into the habit of drinking, some of these souls can just jump on that person. And when they jump on that person, they can make him a real drunkard. I remember of a lady who was a very short, petite person, came from Cuba. I in America when I went first. And she told me that she is very sick of herself. Her husband told me that she can take one whiskey bottle full, neat sometimes. Looked at her, such a little thing, I said, how can she do it? So, I put a bandhan on her and I saw a huge, big Negro standing behind her. So I said, do you know some Negro? Immediately she jumped on me. She said, Mother, you see that one? You see that one? That's the one who drinks, not me. Of course, I cured her and after that she gave up drinking completely. So, whenever you start getting into a habit in a bad way, you lose complete control of yourself and a spirit sits on you and it controls you. And when it controls you, you do not know how to get rid of any habit. That's why it's difficult to get rid of habits. Now in Sahaja Yoga, when the Kundalini rises, what happens? That the spirits, these dead spirits, leave you and you become alright and you give up. That's how it works. I would say that all this Mahavira did not tell, nor did he find out all these things, because he was not a scientist, I think, or I don't know why. But what he has talked about is the hell. And he has said that if you do this kind of a thing in your lifetime, then what kind of a hell you will get. And he has described the hell in a very, I should say, openly and in a very detailed manner. And it's really horrible to know that a human being who thinks well of himself ultimately will get to that kind of a hell, and some are permanently doomed to be there. But as incarnations take birth, also these devils, some of them who are completely doomed to live in hell, also take their birth. And when they take their birth, they try to trouble us. And they can take birth as you know, as our gurus and things and everything is happening now. You find it how these people are taking their birth and how they are misleading us. How they are using the left sadhisthana, or we can call it the left side, just to immobilize us completely. So when a person is possessed, as you must have seen, a person gets possessed, he cannot feel vibrations. There are all kinds of symptoms about such a person. But in Sahaja Yoga, what do we do? Is to take the name of Mahavira. Because Mahavira runs all the way on the Idanadi and comes and stays here unto the, we can say, the point which is for our superior. And it sees, controls, works out, cleanses, and does all that is required to put a person right after surgery. So we have to be really very thankful to him for doing this kind of work which is very filthy and dirty, because these people don't mind even sitting in the bathroom, like that we can say, or sitting with everything and meditating. They can do anything. They are very dirty people, absolutely dirty. When they become tantrikas, they try all kinds of dirty things, and with that they actually create a problem between themselves and the God. Say they'll go to a temple of a goddess and start misbehaving with a woman there. So the goddess will disappear. And once the goddess disappears in that area, they call all these booths from the left side. So now we have all these souls which are lying, hanging in the air, trying to come back to a conscious thing and to possess someone.